Episode: Staying Focused on the Mission. Keeping the team focused. It can be difficult to keep people focused on their work or the mission, especially when it spans months or even years. And finding ways to help people work together is exponentially more difficult as teams grow in size and projects expand in scale. There are many ways to help people and teams to stay focused on the mission. I feel that my many mistakes, missteps, and failures in my career have afforded me a unique perspective to speak of things that did work for me out of a multitude of failures or poorly executed ideas. Here are a few ideas that come to mind. While I extol the value of a North Star to keep people motivated and moving in the right direction, a North Star shines the way forward. It highlights and showcases goals. However, North Stars do not contain details or plans or schedules. They paint a broad stroke vision that people can rally around. Therefore, the team needs a formal plan that they can work towards, which will lead them to the North Star to achieve their objectives and fulfill their goals. Another tool that I have found useful is the Venn diagram. I fully appreciate that Venn diagrams have often been vilified and overused, and they can be used to, frankly, unsuccessfully communicate information. In other words, they fail. But it is the incompetent person that overuses or abuses the power of the Venn diagram. Well, anyway, I have found Venn diagrams to be instrumental in the right situations, in showing how groups work together specifically, and where their responsibilities are uniquely their own, and where they are shared, overlapping with other groups. I have likewise used Venn diagrams to show different job roles and how they overlapped in some areas, but had unique discipline responsibilities as well. Fusion's 325 full-time employees and 300 plus contractors needed to know what groups existed and how to interact with them. A master group Venn diagram showed all Fusion groups. It was a keystone to understanding and navigating and working within EA Fusion. Don't let people vilify great tools like Venn diagrams if they can be useful to your objectives. I have found Venn diagrams to be highly valuable in the right situations. So many times, someone somewhere would say to me, "Hey, I have an idea." Of course, everybody has an idea. Everyone has ideas. The magic is not having an idea. The magic is delivering the idea. Let me say this way more succinctly. Average people see the need for something to be done. They have ideas. Whereas genius people, they see the problem and the solution. They make things happen. On the topic of genius, I have concluded that true genius has a very special definition for me. Genius is a person's ability to understand things that they were never taught. Genius is the ability to self-teach, to self-learn and comprehend new things. Genius is the ability to retain and recall knowledge and apply it in familiar and in unfamiliar situations. Let me emphasize these 2 points. Genius is the ability to apply knowledge in different ways than how it was originally learned. Genius is seeing and doing things differently, not working at them harder, but rather working at them smarter from a different tact. I have shared the principle of what matters most, or WMM, previously. Dave McCarthy at Fusion first coined what matters most, and it stuck. What matters most was simply an acronym as a rally cry to staff and teams to categorize and break down features and tools, and to prioritize them so the team would focus on the most important things at the time. Therefore, with a prioritized feature and tool list, the team will focus on what matters most. WMM should not change much, if at all. WMM, what matters most, should be like the points of the North Star. They may flicker a bit, but they are always there, shining the path for the team to follow. And they do not change much from day to day. I have found it useful to only have 3 to at most 5 what matters most pillars. They are major features to a product, tool, or service. The product would obviously be incomplete without any of the WMM features. However, there may be other features or tools that are not what matters most, but still are important to be done. Even things like technical debt must be paid by engineering eventually, while it may not be a what matters most. In general, what matters most is like a major feature list with optionally a supplemental list of minor features. The point is, a product would be unacceptable without its major, aka what matters most WMM features. Much like what matters most focusing on the top major features of a product, all features and subordinate features, tools, and work need something special. They should be prioritized for their importance to the product, scored 1 through 4. Again, so there's no middle of the road 1 to 5 scoring with a 3. They should be grouped with dependent or related deliverables. Finally, they should be stack ranked relative to each other with a likely cut line. Keeping the stack ranked features, tools, and work list with a cut line helps the team know where they should not be spending their time. They should be focused on things at the top of the list and work downward. And specifically, they should not be working on anything below the cut line. And they should never start from the cut line and work upwards. They should always work on the most important, what matters most things at the top of the list first. I just want to emphasize that it is common to see people argue how so many things are a priority or are important. However, logically, if everything is a priority or everything is important, then nothing is more important or higher priority than anything else. Therefore, logically, if everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. Therefore, if everything is important, nothing is important. What success looks like, WSLL, can be easily confused with what good looks like, WGLL. But WSLL, what success looks like, is very different. What success looks like, it is about the finish line, the end state, whereas what good looks like is about the behavior, the journey, to achieve what success looks like. What success looks like should primarily be measured with a clear description of what done looks like and how crossing the finish line will be measured, and if there are failure states, the opposite of what success looks like, what failure looks like. You must know failure to avoid it and thus to succeed. WSLL should use key success indicator, metrics, comparisons, and formally define what done looks like. Let's talk a little more about what good looks like, or WGLL. When I worked with Dave McCarthy at Electronic Arts Fusion, he came to work one day and declared we should focus only on what matters most. It was simple. and we all made it stick. It was a simple idea, but it can be very powerful. What good looks like, WGLL, describes individual and group behavior. It describes how each person, each discipline, like an engineer, artist, producer, designer, or program manager, whatever, and how each group should engage and interact with each other, and what was expected of them at their experience levels. What good looks like evolves with every person and every group. For example, what good looks like for a senior engineer might include mentorship of others, whereas what good looks like for a new hire might include networking across disciplines and learning new tech and people. What good looks like should use key performance indicator metrics to make objective, otherwise subjective, opinions on behavior. For example, a key performance indicator, KPI, might be how many mentorship meetings did a senior engineer have with junior engineers in any given month. What good looks like may indicate senior engineers should meet weekly with mentees, and so this KPI would be a useful way to track the education of the less veteran staff. It might be key to making everyone 10% better. Random topic. I'm just going to say it. Pictures are really, truly worth 1,000 words. I love words. I really do. But I have to confess that pictures are valuable too. As an extreme, in a meeting once with executive named Bing Gordon, he said to me, "For the love of God, a picture. Give me a picture. For the love of God." He was emphatic, almost pleading. I suggest, therefore, when possible, use whiteboards, use visual aids, draw diagrams, lines, circles, mind maps. Move ideation and words to images and ways to group concepts and thoughts together. Mind maps are an easy way for that. Use colored markers to further delineate and group things. There is something simple and intuitive, like drawing on a cave wall, to illustrate our thoughts and our ideas. The whiteboard is our corporate cave wall. Use it, and use all of the colors that have been given to you. I use whiteboards for everything: visualizing problems, making mind maps, showing relationships, driving collaboration between groups and people. I use different color markers for categories, groups, and ideas. I add sticky notes to the whiteboards, like drawings and writings, for more brainstorming, collaborating, letting people move things around. When in doubt, use the whiteboard and consider bringing stickies. Lots of stickies. You could also give color markers to individuals so their ideas are easily seen. As an aside, I found often that people want to name their teams, especially if they break out into smaller task force problem-solving teams from their larger meeting. I have railed against people dividing themselves into cliques, clubs, or groups that are not already defined as part of the organization. Group names matter. In order to make my point, I would walk up to the whiteboard and make 2 columns for team members that would be formed. I would label one team us, and then I would label the other team them, and then I would write verses between the 2 columns. It made a point. Most people saw immediately how the division pitted people against each other. People immediately saw how trying to sound smarter and being more innovative, even potentially trying to diminish their competing team, was not being a team player. Seeing us and them made it obvious that we are putting ourselves on separate teams, that we are not working together anymore, that each team will be seen and compared and judged relative to the other team, not one larger united team. It is important to keep everyone seeing themselves as part of one team, even if they work on different things or projects. Names clearly bifurcate and separate people and teams. Although I talked previously about this, it is valuable to emphasize by itself. Blue and red oceans. It is important to know what color of an ocean you're in. Blue ocean is a metaphor for a product marketplace with very little competition. Red oceans, it's a metaphor for a product marketplace full of competing products. The red is the blood. Obviously, people want to release products in blue oceans, but not every opportunity is in a blue ocean. The bloodier red the ocean is, the more it should be avoided. Only pursue opportunities with product designs that have at least one unique differentiating feature when entering a red ocean. I attended a conference with Will Wright a long time ago, the creator of SimCity, SimEarth, and The Sims. Will Wright had a simple message that stuck with me. He said, if you are competing with 10 people to cross a minefield to claim a huge cash prize, do you cross the minefield first to ensure that you claim the prize before anyone else has a chance to claim it? Do you cross the minefield last to ensure everyone else blows up, showing you the safe path across, though you may not be able to claim the prize if someone else makes it? How many people out of those 10 would you wait behind, let traverse the minefield, before you would take your risk, your shot at it? There is no right answer, of course. All opportunities and situations are unique and different. The general feeling was that it was prudent to let 2 people go first, and then go yourself as the third minefield traverser. The real conclusion was this: you must take risk to get into a blue ocean. You must take even more risk to win in a red ocean. As a further aside, you can reduce your risks by leveraging existing tech, features, designs, even teams. Having the right people and experts will massively reduce risk and improve the odds of finding a blue ocean or winning in a competitive, bloody red ocean. In a nutshell, I have always striven to be better, and I have always, likewise, striven to help others to be better. As with my earlier evangelizing of continuous improvement, Kaizen, all aspects of my life and career have sought to relentlessly get better, no matter how good or strong I believed I already was. I hope my sensei offering empowers people to do great things. That is the legacy that I hope to give. That people that I have helped will have the confidence, the wisdom, the expertise to do great things. That's my wish, for people to be great and to do great things, and to help others to be great themselves and do great things as well.